Welcome back. It is Saturday, February 3rd in the NBA. My three best bets are on the way. Let's recap yesterday. A 4-1 day. So close to bringing out the broom. So dang close. Let's talk about it and then dive into today's picks. We had Trae Young's over in points, sweat-free, Kyle Kuzma, and Cat. We faded them successfully. And then we added a play after the fact. It was Jalen Duren double-double and Steph 20-plus points. Steph was actually the sweaty one in there. Our only loss of the day was Malcolm Brogdon. He couldn't take us home for the 5-0 sweep. Had 11 points at halftime. I think he only shot a couple times in the second half. Anthony Simons and Scoot Henderson said, get in the corner. We ain't passing it to you. So either way, a 4-1 day, really good day for us. Let's continue that momentum today. Do want to make a couple notes here before we dive in. I will not have any added plays. Actually, as I record this, my parents are on the way from Orlando over here. So I'm going to spend the day with them. So no added plays today. Just going to stick with the three in the video. However, I will at the end of this video talk about a couple of leans that I did have. They're not going to track towards my record, but if I were to force like 6 picks into a video, yeah, we'll talk about 3 other ones that I did look at, but we're only going to track the first 3 in the video. Let's talk about the first one, and we're going to start with the guy that helped us make some money yesterday, although it was sweaty. Hopefully he doesn't make today sweaty, because it is Stephen Curry. I like his over 26.5 points, minus 120 on BetMGM. Personally, I would play this at 27.5 if you had to take it there. I really like Steph tonight in this matchup against the Hawks. Now, obviously, Steph and the Warriors coming off a back-to-back. They beat the Grizzlies yesterday by about 20 points. Game was a little bit closer than the final score indicated, but Steph Curry only managed 20 points. He made us sweat last night. And the Grizzlies, if you watched how they defended him, I mean, Vince Williams was on him all game long, but he was basically guarding him the opposite way of how you would probably teach a guy to guard someone like Steph Curry. He was guarding him basically with his back not to his team's basket. He was actually face guarding him to where he was begging Stephen Curry to back cut on him, and then Jaren Jackson Jr. was going to meet him at the rim there. So Steph kind of struggled there, but the Hawks are not going to do that tonight. And we've seen in his last 7 games versus Atlanta, pretty good track record here. I mean, he scored 28, 29, 30, 37, 50, 41, and then 25 points. So going over in 6 of 7. They did play a few weeks ago, I think January 24th. Steph only 25 points in 31 minutes. Only shot about 15 or 16 times. Really didn't need to score too much for him, as Kuminga and Klay Thompson combined for 49 points. But yeah, if those two guys are combining for 49, it's probably not going to have to score, 30 plus points for the Warriors to have a chance to win. But I don't see that happening here today. I mean, Kuminga went 11 for 11 from the field. That's probably not happening. And Klay Thompson missed a couple of games, returned yesterday, didn't play too well. Now on a back-to-back, you never know if he's going to play. And I really do like this matchup for him. The Hawks have been better against opposing point guards in terms of limiting their scoring. That's not really Steph's role nowadays. Now that Draymond Green is back, he's mostly playing like a shooting guard, running a ton of, roll-up plays for him, and he's getting open. And the Hawks are a team that we know they haven't been great defensively. 29th in points per game allowed, 27th in three-pointers allowed, 28th in three-point percentage allowed. Their defense has struggled, to say the least. This is not a team that you're like, ooh, let's take unders against them, because that's not what they do. They play super fast. They're 4th in pace. The Warriors are 12th in pace, and this should be an up-and-down game. Not a lot of defense being played, given that both teams are on a back-to-back. They already don't play defense. I don't anticipate them playing even more defense on a back-to-back. And Steph, look at his line. He's averaged 27.4 points per game this season. He is over this line in 55% of games, so not too bad. And if he makes 4 or more threes, which got him set at minus 230 for him to knock down 4 or more three-pointers, which is obviously pretty juiced on the over, he's over this line in 70% of such games. So he's averaging 30.5 in those games. So coming off a game, it's not like he played 40 minutes last night. He played like 31 or 32 minutes. Should be out there for around 36 minutes. Draymond should be active. I mean, they could rest him on a back-to-back, but I imagine he's playing tonight, and he'll be able to run some plays for him. And I really do think Steph gets open a good amount tonight, shoots a ton. This is a fast-paced game. Give me Steph Curry's over in points tonight at 26.5. Like I said, I take it at 27.5. I consider doing a 25-plus same-game parlay, but I'd rather not get cute with it. Steph Curry, go put the ball in the basket. Second pick's going to be an under. We've quietly hit our last 3 unders. Can we go for a 4th straight in a row? I certainly hope so. And this is going to be fading one of my favorite players in the NBA, a COS Hall of Famer, Tyrese Maxey, under 31.5 points, minus 120 on FanDuel. Now, before I even dive into why I like Maxey's under, trivia question for all my COS OGs out there. There's only one COS Hall of Famer that has ever made the COS Hall of Fame, because we mostly took his unders. Does anyone remember who he is? Anyone? This name will ring a bell if you're thinking about it. Darius Bazley's the only guy we've ever had make the COS Hall of Fame, because we faded him so many times. But obviously Maxey's in the COS Hall of Fame because we've been taking his overs a lot early on in the season. Haven't really touched his props mostly recently, but I'll take the under here at 31.5. Now, obviously Maxey, if you took his under last game, you got wrecked. He dropped 51 points on your head, and you lost in the first half as he had 32 points in the first half, and he could not miss. But this season, I think that's more of an outlier because Maxey on the year is averaging 27.8 points per game without Joel Embiid. Obviously, Embiid announced with a torn meniscus. Who knows how long he's going to be out for? But in those 10 games, he's under in 6 of 10. And in fact, all 4 of the games he went over were actually on the road. And tonight he's back at home, taking on, I believe they will be taking on, I forget at the top of the Nets. The Nets is who they're playing. We're going to talk that in a second. But we saw last game, Maxey obviously went berserk. Nothing we could do there. He went 5th game this season where he actually shot above 60% from the field. I mean, he shot 63%, 7 of 9 from 3. If Maxey does that tonight, shoots above 60%, yeah, we're losing. But like I said, 5th game shooting above that. The previous 4 instances where he went above 60%, shot below 45%. And the rest of the games, one of those games he shot like 20%, a couple games in the 30s. So obviously a law of regression here is coming for Maxey, who's just not a guy that's going to shoot 60% from the field. And if he does, you tip your cap to him, say, hey, respect. But this is a tough match against the Nets. Mikal Bridges, likely the guy that slides onto Maxey, and Mikal been known for being a really good defender. And this actually we could see the return of Ben Simmons tonight into Philly. We'll see how that goes. That should be interesting. But you look at Maxey, look at his other props. Him to make 4 or less 3-pointers is minus 350. Heavily juiced on the under. So they don't really think he's going out there knocking down 5, 6, 7 threes this season. When he's made 4 or less threes, he's averaged 24 a game, going under this line in 28 of 33. Obviously, Joel Embiid's out, so Maxey's usage is going to go up. But also, not only will Maxey's usage go up, his quality of shot going to go down, and he's going to have more responsibility for this offense and have more defensive focus on him. The Nets are a pretty good defense. They've been a pretty good defense since, December. And they haven't really translated into wins, but they play at a slow pace and they play good defense. I think if they are smart, they're going to say, hey, you know what? Someone else make some shots. Nicholas Batum, go make some shots against us. Paul Reed, you go one-on-one on Nick Claxton and beat us. I think that's what they would rather live with than let Maxey go off for 30, 40 points. So will Maxey play a lot of minutes? Yes. But he also will not have any really shots set up for him. They're going to have someone on him all game long, and he's going to have to make tough shots. Just like I talked about with Kyle Kuzma, Karl Anthony Towns yesterday, they had to make tough shots to go over, and they obviously did not. There's going to be guys on Maxey all night long, a pause, but I really do think that we'll take Maxey, take his under 31.5 points. I would play it at 30.5. All right, before we get canceled here, let's move on to our third pick. And boy, this pick actually could get me canceled because, man, I love this man. The Big Ragu, Donte DiVincenzo, over 20.5 points, minus 120 on FanDuel. We're taking the Big Ragu on ABC tonight against the Lakers. What a sentence to put together. But obviously, if you don't know, Donte DiVincenzo plays for the Knicks, and his nickname is the Big Ragu. Now, if you want to wait to place this bet, you certainly can. As if OG Anunoby is ruled active, which I anticipate him playing tonight, this line probably drops to about 19.5 if I had to guess. But I'm not really concerned about OG Anunoby playing. They're still going to play Donte DiVincenzo a ton, and this is just a perfect matchup for DiVincenzo. And if OG doesn't play, even better. More field goal attempts for us. But OG, we know he's not necessarily the most aggressive guy in the world, and he's going to have to guard LeBron James on the other side. Last 3 games, though, when you've seen Randall out, DiVincenzo, 28, 33, and 20 points. We took us over in one of those games. He cashed out for us. The field goal attempts, 22, 22, and 26 field goal attempts. And we saw last game when he went on the hook, 20 points, but he went 8 for 26, 4 for 16 from 3. I mean, if you're giving me a guy 20.5 points that's shooting 20 plus times, I'll take it. Obviously, Jalen Brunson is the head of the snake on this Knicks team. He's going to get a lot of field goal attempts, and this Lakers team is down arguably their best defenders. Jared Vanderbilt's now out for a while. So I don't know who they let guard Jalen Brunson. You have fun with that. But I really do think Donte's going to get his opportunities. I mean, you look at his other lines. His over 3.5 threes is minus 200. So I think he makes 4 threes pretty easily tonight. And 4 threes would give us to 12 points. We need 9 more from Donte. But look, the Lakers have just been struggling against the 3-point line. They are 30th. Dead last in 3-pointers allowed per game. They're 22nd in 3-point percentage. I don't know who plays for them. Does LeBron James play tonight? Does Anthony Davis play tonight? I don't know. I don't care. They give up a lot of threes. And what is Donte chucking up? 3-pointers. Coming off a bad game. Obviously still got the 20 points, but 8 for 26. Not ideal. But this is a Knicks team that I don't see them benching Donte DiVincenzo. They have a lot of guys in this rotation. Quentin Grimes, we'll see if he returns, but he was out last game. They're going to have Donte out there, and I think we'll get some open opportunities against a team that struggles against the 3-point line. And if Donte starts making some shots, he'll go over this line pretty easily. Hopefully he shoots efficiently, but I think the volume is there enough for him to get it over, and I really do like Donte DiVincenzo, the Big Ragu, over 20.5 points. Now, let's talk about some leans. Those are my 3 picks of the day. Donte's over in points. We got Tyrese Maxey's under in points, and then Steph Curry's over in points. But let's talk about 3 leans. I won't throw them up on the screen, so you're going to have to listen in. I did a couple other things that I did consider. One pick that was going to make the card was Keegan Murray over 13.5 points. However, it was juiced up at minus 135, and I personally don't believe in laying minus 135 on a points line. Hence why I say playable up to minus 130, because anything higher than that, not worth it. Now, I was going to take it. I'd like the matchup for him against the Bulls. Now, another one, Trae Young over 2.5 rebounds, almost made the cut. Trae, pretty good track record grabbing rebounds against the Warriors. They obviously shoot a lot of threes, so you get a lot of long rebounds. I was going to take Trae Young's over in rebounds at 2.5, obviously a really low line at like minus 130, or I was going to take his over in rebounds plus assists at about minus, I think it's 13.5. Just ended up not taking it. And then the last one that was really close to taking was Luka Doncic's over in PRAs, his points, points plus assists. 59.5 is his PRA line, which is just bonkers that we have a line that high. But I was going to take it. The only problem I didn't do it is because I cannot guarantee as I record this that Kyrie Irving is out. If he's out, obviously I would like that Luka line. The Bucks don't play any defense, but my luck is I would take that line. Kyrie would go from doubtful to questionable to playing, and then I would get wrecked because if Kyrie plays, Luka's probably not getting to a 59.5 PRA line. So I'm just going to stick with the 3 picks in the video. The big ragu, Steph Curry, and we're going with Tyrese Maxey's under. Those are my 3 picks. Let's obviously continue. We've been on a 4 straight winning days. Let's go for a 5th straight. Try to go 2-1 or a 3-0 sweep would be awesome. Let's bring out that broom for the real time tomorrow morning. But you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Great start to your weekend. I'll see you guys back on Sunday with some more picks. It's Austin signing out. Go Big Ragu. I'll be watching you on ABC. You guys have a wonderful day. See you in the next one. Peace.